hovercrafts and other drones as such. So that is what they've signed up for, but they haven't yet received them, so to speak.
Burzine, even as all of these visuals, very dramatic from across the Middle East, with Iran very clear that they're going to target every single American base in the region. Interesting reports coming in from within Israel, because now a TV report from there says that strikes have achieved a high success in targeting Iran's president and senior commanders. So while a lot of focus will be on these very dramatic visuals coming from, from Bahrain, from other places, the fact is that Israeli media are now reporting that when it comes to targeting Iran's president and senior commanders, they have achieved significant success.
Yes, and quite rightly so, because their homework is second to none. It is absolutely peerless. And why would that be so? One must pause and ask too. It is because of excellent ground intelligence from Tehran itself that is being fed to the Israelis by disgruntled Iranian local elements. Who are obviously fed up with the discredited regime. It is one thing to talk about Israeli stunning military success, but never forget the human intelligence aspect. And Israel, to a certain extent, can fulfill that, but it is only possible due to Iranian collaboration on ground. We saw that during the 12-day war. We see it again here with these multiple drone strikes back in June that were launched and were all over the city. And Tehran's police inspector general was telling citizens not to, pander to such rumors and this, that, and the other last June. And we see it this time too. And Gauri, if I may, although Anjana rightly mentioned about no air warnings in Abu Dhabi, Al Dhafra base, which is 20 miles south of Abu Dhabi, there has been some alleged attacks according to certain Persian news channels which I've been following, like Shafaq Monitor and others. They say that there has been allegedly, I repeat, allegedly an attack at Al Dhafra base, which of course it should be known to your viewership, because that's where the ill-fated Indian Airlines also landed the Christmas Day hijacking back in December 1999 before making its way to Kandahar. I just thought I'd throw that in too.
Okay. Shiv, all right. Before I get in Shiv, let's get in Anjana as well for more updates on this. And as Burzine is saying that there are some local media outlets that seem to be indicating that there could be some possible strikes that could have taken place at the airbase that we were mentioning earlier. Anjana.
Yeah, so we have an official confirmation from the Ministry of Defense in Abu Dhabi that there was a Iranian ballistic missile attack on Abu Dhabi, which was dealt with by the UAE air defenses. And it says a number of missiles were successfully intercepted. So I guess that was the blast that I heard and a lot of residents heard and spoke about earlier. And the UAE authorities also say that they also dealt with the fall of a shrapnel on a residential area in the city of Abu Dhabi, which resulted in some material damage and the death of a person of Asian nationality. So first casualty in the UAE. He is an Asian national, according to government authorities. And they also confirmed that the security situation is under control. So I think that is an official confirmation that we were waiting for at least a half an hour ago. There was 2 rounds of the similar blasts and explosions that we heard. And there are pictures and videos doing the rounds on social media. But now we have a confirmation that there is at least 1 casualty and a barrage of missile attacks on Abu Dhabi.
And Shiva, I want to bring you in on just that aspect. Till now we've been talking about strikes, but the human toll of any war is now beginning to finally be seen. First casualty that Anjana is talking about, we have now reported. It's confirmed.
And we don't even know what the casualties are in Iran and Israel yet. The attacks began in Iran. There is no information just yet about what the casualty numbers are in Iran, in Israel, in any of the other places. So this is Anjana is literally reporting the first casualty in this entire exchange so far. I just want to remind all of our viewers, Gauri, that NDTV is reporting this unfolding situation from all of the key points. We're the only network with a reporter, Indian network with a reporter on the ground in Iran and in Israel. We've got Anjana in Abu Dhabi. We'll have a reporter up in Bahrain in a very short while from now. I'm told we've got our correspondent from Qatar plugging in shortly as well. So this is a 360-degree view as to the best of our abilities of a situation that is clearly in escalation. Each picture coming in is escalating. We've also got the best voices, including Burzine, Dr. Brahmachalani, and others who are helping us and our viewers decode what appears to be a familiar situation, but one that seems to have a tinge of inevitability in terms of what that outcome is going to be. We've seen what's been happening on the streets of Iran for the last few weeks. You had Trump just quantify the number of deaths in Iran as tens of thousands. We don't know what that figure is, but the people of Iran right now have basically gotten a message from Trump. They've gotten a message from Netanyahu. What's going to happen in Iran is I think, key to what we're reporting right now. We don't know yet where the leadership of Iran is. They've issued very traditional boilerplate statements saying Iran is not going to sit around. There will be a crushing response, etc., etc. Nothing new about that. We can confirm that the Al Khamenei has been taken to a hideout or a safe house or a bunker of kinds. There's been an attack on a ceremonial residence of the Al Khamenei, as Maral was telling us a little earlier. Unfortunately, we've lost that link with her because there's a complete internet shutdown in Tehran at this point of time. But the leadership of Iran, is this become a decapitation strike? We don't know just yet, and I don't want to conjecture just yet, but all the contours that Trump and Netanyahu have given us about roaring lion and epic fury basically sounds like that's exactly what they're aiming for this time. It doesn't look like it's going to stop before they achieve that. I'm just wondering what that red line is going to be.
All right. In fact, as we focus on all of these visuals coming in from across the Middle East, from Israel, from Iran, the latest updates, and in fact, we'll bring in Aditya Raj Kaul now. IDF has begun large-scale reinforcement of troop presence at borders. It has boosted, the presence of IAF, Navy, home front surge. Blasts have been reported, says Israeli media, in Riyadh. An airstrike has hit an Iraqi base which was hosting pro-Iran militia. And all of these are reports coming in from within Israel. But let's actually get a sense of what is happening there on the ground, because Aditya is right there. It seems, at least for the time being, it is slightly calmer than earlier. The sirens have stopped and you're out of the bomb shelter. Aditya.
Well, this happens during conflict. There are moments when, it's calm, but you never know. Sirens could be blazing again. Since morning, there have been 3 different times when sirens got blazing. People ran off to the bomb shelters. And even as NDTV continues to bring in exclusive reportage here from Israel and from Iran and the larger Middle East, it is a very, very significantly dramatic situation that is developing. It is very, very fluid right now. I'm now being told that US President Donald Trump will be addressing the nation again in a few hours from now to update about the latest developments, because this is nearing a long-term format. Because earlier we were reporting since morning these could be preemptive strikes, but what we have witnessed since is that 5 different locations in Iran under target, including several ministry buildings and very senior security establishments. We do not, of course, know, as Shiv was pointing out, the fate of the leadership of Iran at this point in time. There could be some casualties, possibly, yes, high casualties because of the the magnitude of the attack that happened. As of now, here in Israel, there hasn't been any kind of damage that has been reported as such. There are multiple missiles that did come in, but the Iron Dome did its work. It intercepted most of those missiles above the sky. I heard those explosions while I was at the bomb shelter here. The airport, as I said, is completely shut. People are inside their homes because this is Shabbat as well, and they are not outside. I'm standing right now in one of the neighborhoods of Tel Aviv, where people are completely inside. They are, focused on news channels here in Israel, as well as the Homefront Command app, because they are keeping us updated about the latest developments that are coming in. But it is a huge regional conflict that we are looking at, which is being witnessed right now. What I can also tell you, Padmaja, Shiv and Gauri, is that multiple air bases have come under attack. There are no official confirmations from Iranian side right now, but apart from Bahrain and Kuwait, we are hearing reports of Qatar and UAE also under attack. We are waiting for official confirmations on that front, but all these are US bases basically in these countries, and the US bases have come under attack. Whether there has been any damage on ground or not, agreeing to that, Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, is keeping a very, very close watch along with the IDF chief and the Mossad chief about the latest developments that are coming in. But we are likely to see more action in the next few hours.
In fact, Aditya, that update has in fact come. Go ahead, Shiv. That's what we're talking about.
Aditya, I just had one question. Iran's missiles that have either landed or been intercepted over Israel have been in open areas. Are you hearing any reports from the ground in Israel of any targeting of cities? The last exchange that happened, when the escalation took place towards the evening, cities were targeted as well, including where you are right now, Aditya.
Well, as always, Shiv, and you've been here on ground, the first target always becomes central Israel, which is Tel Aviv, which is hub of the economic action in many ways. And the Ben Gurion airport, where not just the civilian aircrafts, but also the military aircrafts are parked, also becomes a target. Well, there was a huge thick smoke that I witnessed right outside the Ben Gurion airport. We thought that it could be a missile or a rocket that could have landed up there, but it was a fire. So there is no missile that has touched on ground as of now. There are multiple explosions. I can't put a number to it, but there are multiple explosions that have been seen on the sky right above me or meters away from me. And these are basically Iron Dome and other, anti-air defense mechanism that is under play out here. But many of these missiles have also been intercepted in several different countries, from UAE to Bahrain to Kuwait and other locations as well. Whether there's been damage out there, because we did see visuals coming in from Bahrain out there, and there have been alerts that have been issued, and there are fresh wave of strikes that are happening from the Israeli side right now against Iran.
In fact, Iran has attacked US base in Abu Dhabi. UAE has released a statement saying it's a blatant attack by Iranian ballistic missiles. Iranian missiles successfully have been intercepted successfully, and these visuals first broken to you on NDTV. These explosions reported not just in the UAE, but Kuwait and Bahrain as well. The military operation against Iran has spilled over into a much wider region, and these dramatic pictures coming in from Bahrain, from UAE, and from Kuwait. All right, so the very latest, in fact, that we're getting to you, let's continue to stay with Aditya over there. And very important piece of information that Donald Trump is likely to address his country again. One, where he basically said that this was a regime change operation. Aditya, what is likely to be the content? What are you hearing about? Why, within a couple of hours, he has decided to make another address to the nation?
Well, we'll have to wait and watch what exactly is at play, because there is a message that Donald Trump has sent out through the military action and the strikes to the common people in Iran, but that sees this moment. This is the moment for you. Do you want democracy to be restored? Then you will have to certainly physically snatch that democracy away, and we can only aid in this entire process. But will that happen? Because there's a significant population that also is behind Ayatollah Khamenei, Pezeshkian, and several other Iranian leaders right now. We do not know the status of the top leadership, but we do know that they are all in hideouts right now, keeping safe away from these attacks that are happening in Tehran. It is certainly a regime change operation that Israel and Iran have been planning for a very long time. But I've been speaking to Israeli diplomats as well as intelligence who tell me that it's not easy. They do not expect instantly an Iranian takeover to take place, because there's no substitute out here. Yes. There is Reza Pahlavi, but he is not out there. And there's no democratic substitute right now who can take the leadership or who has mass following right now in Iran. So it's not going to be physically, diplomatically, politically, or militarily easy for the US or Israel to just click a button and have perhaps a regime change out there. There has to be a successive military, operation.
Absolutely, and when you talk about a change to what? What follows that change? If the current regime is to be dislodged, what comes after? Zamir Jafri, scholar at the Al Mustafa University, is also joining us live now. Thank you very much, Mr. Jafri, for speaking to us. How do you see this panning out over the next few hours? Donald Trump has told people of Iran the hour of your freedom is at hand. What happens after that hour of freedom?
Are you with me?
Yes.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, Mr. Jafri.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me on the show. Your voice was not very clear, but what I understood was America is trying to bring about democracy in Iran. Wow. It makes me laugh. 34 million people came on 11th of February to support an Islamic government. Okay. And somebody sitting outside in other side of the world thinks that they know Iran more than what the Iranians know. And those 34 million people who came on the road were not Iranians, they were aliens. Secondly, they want to bring about democracy in Iran, but they want to establish a terrorist in Syria as the head of the state. And they want all the kings in the Middle East and the West Asia to rule the country where there is no democracy. All these lies and all these propaganda, till when are we going to repeat the Western propaganda like copy paste things? First of all, let me start with the first thing is this is an attack on Iran, which proves again the world is a jungle Raj. There is no international law. According to all international law, according to United Nations, this is an act of terror. This is an act of war against a sovereign nation. This is the second time that Iran was in conversation. Iran was negotiating. The foreign minister of Oman was yesterday in United States. In the Face the Nation, one of the shows in United States of America, he clearly stated that Iran has agreed to maximum demands of America, and Iran is ready to negotiate. Let's give it time. And he knew that this barbarism is going to take place. So let's break it down. What does people of Iran want? They want an Iranian government. It's not a regime. There is a regime in United States which is against the Supreme Court of United States, which is taking unilateral actions, which is taking Maduro from Venezuela.
All right.
There's jungle Raj and a regime in United States. In Iran, there is a government, there is a democratic government, there is a president, there are votes, there is election. This is all Western propaganda. Yesterday, India Today released a news in which their reporters came. I invite the NDTV reporters to come to Tehran as well. Come and walk on the street, speak to people. What kind of propaganda is this? What is regime change? What is this regime change drama? What is regime change?
Okay, but Mr. Jaffrey, what do you anticipate some kind of reaction from the people of Iran? Because every statement up till now has been addressed to the people of Iran saying this is the kind of support that you had sought from the world all of this while. You did not get it, but now it is in your hands to seize your destiny.
Well, there is something called daydreaming, and America has been daydreaming this since last 40 years. Iran has progressed in 40 years. Iran is now in a capacity that Iran can strike back. This whole Western, there was a report on Al Jazeera which stated there were 40 million bot on Twitter and X which were being used to project as if the Iranian people are against the Iranian government. This is an official news on X. So all these social media revolution are sitting outside in a cozy AC room and thinking that Iran is about to collapse. Tehran has collapsed, Mashhad has collapsed. This is all nonsense which is going on in the Western propaganda, multi-million propaganda.
Mr. Jaffrey,
which are trying to portray Iran is about to collapse. It's absolute nonsense.
No, we haven't said any of that. We have been objectively asking, and we continue to report objectively about how the situation is unfolding. The question was about what happens next post.
One of the panelists recently said this.
Okay,
it's about regime change and the people of Iran. Yes,
okay.
I was responding to them.
My question to you, sir, is that there is a strike that has been launched by Israel. It is backed by US completely. And it seems like both sides are prepared to take this forward and for it to prolong for more than just a couple of days. I want to understand from you the impact this will have on Iran because of the disproportionate scale and disproportionate and complete inequality in terms of how the US and Israeli military assets exist and with regard to Iran.
I would like to just add one point, and that point is very simple. That during the 12 days war, the same question was there. Iran in that 12-day war proved two things. One is Iran's missiles can penetrate the air inside Israel and any point in West Asia. One. Two, Iranian missiles have pinpoint accuracy, and Iran had only used Khorramshahr in the last 2 days of the war, which is and they have not even used Sijil, which is one of the latest ballistic missile and hypersonic missiles that they have. So it's not that America can attack, Israel can attack, and Iran cannot respond. Those days are gone. Ayatollah Khamenei has clearly stated, "Ni zani ni khori." If you think you can hit and run away, hit illegally, criminally, and run away, those days are gone. Iran can respond back. Look, Iran has clearly said that this will be a regional war. Ayatollah Khamenei clearly stated this will be a regional war, and on day one, within hours, Iran responded by attacking six air bases in 6 different countries inside American bases in the West Asia. What does it prove? It proves that Iran has the power to respond.
Okay.
And Iran is not going to back down or not going to capitulate or not going to submit to these imperialist and colonialist power. I, as an Indian, I expect all Indians to stand up against this colonialist and imperialist mindset. These were the people who ruled us for 150 years. We as a country were 23% of the world economy. They looted us, and when they went, they left us with 3% of the world economy.
Okay.
They are the people who are trying to put tariffs on us. We as Indians, we need to stand up based on principles.
But Mr. Jafri, Iran has said that UN needs to step in. The UNSC needs to take cognizance of what they have called an unprovoked and unilateral attack. But I haven't so far seen anyone actually speak up and respond to that. In fact, we have Anthony Albanese, who is, I think, one of the first few world leaders who has responded to this. And he said Australia stands with the brave people of Iran in their struggle against oppression. For decades, the Iranian regime has been a destabilizing force through its ballistic missile and nuclear programs, support for armed proxies, and brutal acts of violence and intimidation. Iran directed at least 2 attacks on Australian soil in 2024. These appalling acts target Australia's Jewish community, were intended to create fear, divide our society, and so on and so forth. Why is Iran then not getting the support that you say everyone across the world, including India, should be giving them?
Well, we live in a jungle, Raj, and what happened when Maduro was captured? Greenland is being attacked. All the countries of the Europe, they were sitting like classroom students, and the principal United States was dictating to them what happened when they were trying to attack So is there any doubt that we live in a jungle, Raj? Is there any doubt in anybody's mind? Is there any doubt that there is no international law, there is no United Nations?
Okay.
So there is only one way in which we say jiski lathi uski bhais. That is the kind of world that we live in.
Okay.
And Imam Ali alayhi salam says a very beautiful quote. He says the world is like a jungle in which the bigger animal is trying to eat the smaller animal till the time
All
you
right,
mean a
Mr.
smaller
Jafri.
animal. Somebody is out to hunt you
All
out.
right.
But to use your analogy a little further, agar jiski lathi uski bhais, that at this time, what will be decisive to determine who actually wields the bigger and the stronger lathi?
Military might.
Whose military might is going to outlast this? For the time being, thanks very much, Zaneer Jafri, for having.
I just want to add one more point.
All right, just 10 seconds, please.
Just one more point I want to add. Yes, one more point. Look, Iran is a country which believes in the ideology of Imam Hussain. We are Shia Muslims. We are taught never oppress anybody and never accept any oppression. We believe dying on the knee is dying on standing high, your head high is much better than kneeling down to an oppressor. Iran is ready.
All right, we'll take a very quick break at this point, but this ongoing coverage on the biggest story of 2026, don't go anywhere. The most incisive analysis, updates right here on NDTV. Back in a minute.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. What must history be made in global capitals and conflict zones? brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Rajkor, covering international affairs like no one else, only on NDTV network.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
The front lines of Kharkiv, the fury of operations in the
So many attacks.
the chaos and cries of disaster zones, the frontier jet conflicts, and the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break, live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting,
Welcome to Left, Right, and Center.
hard facts,
War-struck country and
hard questions, 30 years of trust.
the Kargil area. North Ukraine and France in Italy. At Srinagar, Vishnu Sohm for NDTV.
Vishnu Show, only on NDTV.
Sound check हो गया? Visuals ready? Lights okay? Everything is ready? Wait, are you ready? ये सिर्फ एक कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है. This is my life. This is my story. One night, no repeats. Book your tickets now.
From 1983 to now, I have seen cricket evolve, but the mindset to win never changed. I tell you that what win matches and what doesn't. This T20 World Cup, let's talk cricket controversies and more on NDTV.
All right, team, our new auto show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions.
Expert advice, the latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decision. It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide, and
NDTV is the only Indian media network that is reporting live. Fighter jets and transport aircrafts that are actually lined up. The Israeli side, there's a state of emergency that has been declared.
Good afternoon. We begin with fast-moving and deeply consequential developments in the Middle East. Israel and the United States have carried out coordinated strikes on Iranian targets, describing them as preemptive and necessary for security. Iran now has responded with missile and drone attacks and has warned that American assets in the region are now legitimate targets. President Donald Trump has spoken of major combat operations. Prime Minister Netanyahu says Israel acted to neutralize an existential threat. Tehran calls it aggression and promises retaliation. Now, the critical question is not just what happened earlier today, but what happens next. Does this remain contained, or are we looking at a widening regional confrontation involving proxies, Gulf states, and global energy markets? We'll break it down for you. I'm Vedika Sood, and here are the headlines we are tracking at the top of 4 p.m. Big escalation in West Asia war. US-Israel strike Tehran. Top Iranian officials and Khamenei residents targeted. Trump says aim of strikes is regime change in Iran.
Happened from US.
NDTV reports from Ground Zero, Israel. Iran retaliates by launching missiles. Sirens go off in Tel Aviv. Aditya Rajkol brings you all the updates from Ground Zero. West Asia war theater expands. Iranian missiles hit Bahrain, Abu Dhabi and Kuwait. Reports of Khamenei's home and office targeted. The Iran supreme leader has been taken to a hideout as Israeli military attacks Tehran. Israeli Prime Minister releases statement, says that Israel, together with the United States, launched a military operation against Iran to eliminate what he described as the existential threat posed by the Ayatollah regime.